The sound of the trumpets died away, and Orlando stood stark naked. No human being since the world began has ever looked more ravishing. His form combined in one the strength of a man and a woman's grace. As he stood there, the silver trumpets prolonged their note as if reluctant to leave the lovely sight which their blast had called forth. And chastity, purity, and modesty, inspired no doubt by curiosity, peeped in at the door and threw a garment like a towel at the naked form, which unfortunately fell short by several inches. Orlando looked himself up and down in a long looking-glass without showing any signs of discomposure, and went presumably to his bath. We may take advantage of this pause in the narrative to make certain statements. Orlando had become a woman. There is no denying it. But in every other respect, Orlando remained precisely as he had been. The change of sex, though it altered their future, did nothing whatever to alter their identity. When the road began to climb the first long swells of the divide, Alexandra hummed an old Swedish hymn, and Emil wondered why his sister looked so happy. Her face was so radiant that he felt shy about asking her. For the first time, perhaps, since that land had emerged from the waters of geologic ages, a human face was set toward it with love and yearning. It seemed beautiful to her, rich and strong and glorious. Her eyes drank in the breadth of it until her tears blinded her. Then the genius of the divide, the great free spirit which breathes across it, must have bent lower than it ever bent to a human will before. The history of every country begins in the heart of a man or a woman. Alexandra reached home in the afternoon. That evening she held a family council and told her brothers all that she had seen and heard. "I want you boys to go down yourselves and look it over. Nothing will convince you like seeing with your own eyes. The land sells for 3 times as much as this, but in 5 years we will double it. The rich men down there own all the best land, and they are buying all that they can get. The thing to do is to sell our cattle and what little old corn we have and buy the Lindstrom place. Then the next thing to do is to take out 2 loans on our half-sections and buy Peter Crow's place." "I won't slave to pay off another mortgage. I'll never do it. You just as soon kill us all, Alexandra, to carry out some scheme." Oscar rubbed his high, pale forehead. "How do you propose to pay off your mortgages?" Alexandra looked from one to the other and bit her lip. They had never seen her so nervous. "See here," she brought out at last. "We borrowed the money for 6 years. Well, with the money we buy a half-section from Lindstrom and a half from Crow and a quarter from Struble, maybe. That will give us upwards of 1,400 acres, won't it? You won't have to pay off your mortgages for 6 years. By that time, any of this land will be worth $30 an acre. It will be worth 50, but we'll say 30. But as sure as we are sitting here tonight, we can sit down here 10 years from now, independent landowners, not struggling farmers any longer." On the 5th day, Jan Steen had to take the garden truck to Chicago, though not without many misgivings on Selena's part, all of which were realized when he returned late next day with half the load still on his wagon and a sum of money representing exactly 0 in profits. The wilted leftover vegetables were dumped behind the barn to be used later as fertilizer. "I didn't do so good this time," Jan explained, "on account I didn't get no right place in the market." "You certainly started early enough." "Well, they kind of crowded me out, like. They see I was a new hand, and time I got the animals stabled and come back, they had the wagon crowded out, like." Selena was standing in the kitchen doorway, Jan in the yard with the team. She turned her face toward the fields. "I'll go myself Monday.